Welcome back, everybody, to Sanalytics Crypto. My name is Mike. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm going to go over some quick news articles here, and then I'm out. I've got some things to do here with the fam, but I got to talk about these things, and I got to make this video now, and I won't be here to do one tomorrow. So let's get into it really quickly, you guys. The title you can see in my headline is going to be focused on Dogecoin, even though we're going to kind of blow right past this. I'm just going to give you my opinion because I can, and that's what I'm going to do. All right. Coinbase Pro, Dogecoin deposits now open. Trading begins on June 3rd. Okay, two parts to this story. So, number one, you guys, look, Dogecoin is here to stay. Yes, I am a well-known advocate, outspoken against Dogecoin. I absolutely hate it. I think it is the head of the dragon on all of these meme coin things that we're experiencing right now. It's just bad overall for crypto. It opened the door to all kinds of Shiba Inus and Doge this and Doge that and Elon Musk this, that, and whatever. Look, like I said, Dogecoin's here to stay. It just got listed on Coinbase Pro, which means it's going to be on Coinbase very soon. So, you know, at this point, it's probably a pretty safe investment. Yes, I just came out and said that Dogecoin is a safe investment because there's a ton of liquidity. It's safe as far as it's never going to be rug pulled. It's never going to just up and disappear one day. Elon Musk is really pushing Dogecoin for whatever reason. This guy really backs this coin, and you know, for that alone, for the liquidity alone, and the fact that it's a multi tens of billions of dollar asset at this point, it is safe. However, it's not too safe because, you know, there's a lot of big people who are really pushing Dogecoin to $1, and once Dogecoin does essentially hit $1 or maybe even close to $1, I think a lot of people are going to dump on a lot of the newer people who are into the Dogecoin because at this point, you know, it's being pushed by the TikTokers and it's being pushed by, you know, the tweeters and all this, that, and the other. People are really pushing this for their own specific gain. There is one particular person who owns over 26% of Dogecoin. I think that person would be very, very smart, although it would be very nefarious and underhanded. I think it would be very smart for that person to probably push out a lot of his Doge right before it hits $1. So, like I said, it's safe. Okay, but let's really unpack that because should you invest in Dogecoin? I think it just went up like 13 or 14 or 15%. I'm going to look this up on my phone real quick here, you guys. Yeah, Dogecoin is up 15.5% right now, a total market cap of $48 billion. And the price of the asset is at 37 cents right now. So the news obviously pumped up the coin. Now, let's say that Doge does for some reason hit $1, which would be sort of a miracle, although this is cryptocurrency and anything can happen at any time. You're looking at less than a 3x from here. So if you're looking to make a bunch of money on crypto, or if you're looking to invest in assets that over time really, you know, have strong use cases, strong fundamentals, and all these other things, you know, we look at these fundamentals and we talk about the technology, but really everyone's here to make money. Let's be honest with ourselves and be honest to each other. What is a 3x in a market like this when you could easily invest in Ethereum and probably hit a 3 to 5 or even more than that? When you can invest in Cardano, who's just about to be launching all kinds of things coming up, and this platform is growing massively, and Polygon, you know, projects like that, which would a 3x is kind of just a blip on the radar. When you look at Dogecoin, 3x is probably like the max you're ever going to make. These are just my opinions. I am not a financial advisor, but I do dislike this meme coin. I dislike the environment and the atmosphere that it's producing in crypto because a lot of people, they come in, they see it on TikTok, their buddies are buying it, and they think it's going to the moon. Look, Dogecoin's already on the moon, okay? It's already gone up way more than anyone could have ever even imagined. At one point, I think its high was almost like 72 to 74 cents, something like that. If Dogecoin gets to $1, it'll be a miracle. People are going to dump it. It's not a safe place to be because it puts a bad taste in people's mouth. And yes, I did just contradict myself. Yes, I did. I say it's safe because now it's got a very large base of customers, and it's even growing. It's even arrived on Coinbase. Not that Coinbase is the end-all be-all, but you're not going to lose all your money overnight in Dogecoin is what I'm saying. There's no rug pulls. There's no weird stuff going on. But I don't know. It's not safe in the regard that it is highly centralized. It is, do you guys know that 10,000 Doge are created like every block, basically? That means the supply is infinite. So how safe is it really? Anyways, let's move on because I'm tired of talking about Doge. It's all over the headlines right now, so it's got to be talked about a little bit at least. So this is some good news. Tron founder Justin Sun says crypto bull market gearing up for the next rally. Here's a win. I do agree with this. I think that we are gearing up for the next rally. That doesn't mean that there isn't going to be more pain in the meantime. Everybody was talking about Bloody Sunday. It didn't happen. Then they were talking about Bloody Monday. That also didn't happen. But the crypto space is still very volatile, you guys. It is not time to pile all in just because of a headline like Justin Sun is talking about the next crypto bull rally. Even though it is going to come, I think it's going to start coming towards the middle or the end of summer, and we're going to go into some parabolic moves towards the end of this year. We really need to be careful, and we need to really pick the projects, that we are invested in. So this guy thinks that crypto bull market is still intact and the new rally is just around the corner. In an interview with Bloomberg, Sun predicts that there will be a price adjustment in June before a rally is experienced in the next 2 months thereafter. Interesting. I absolutely, totally agree with that. It's funny because I don't really find myself agreeing with Justin Sun very often, and I don't really like, a lot of things that have to do with Justin Sun. But look, the guy knows the market. Let's just be honest here. The guy knows the market. So I'm not going to read this article, but he does think it's around the corner, and I do agree. Interesting article. Goldman Sachs, head of commodities research, says crypto is more like digital copper than gold. What kind of statement is that? Is this really coming from a guy who obviously has multiple degrees in finance and is working for a company like Goldman Sachs? It's like it's like the kid on the playground. Well, my marbles are better than your marbles because mine are made out of, this kind of glass. And okay, dude, so you're probably really old and you probably have a lot of degrees. You probably are a multi-billionaire. I'm sure you are. And you get to come out and you got to say things like crypto is more like digital copper than gold. That's very, very interesting that you say that, because actually I believe that Bitcoin is the new digital gold. I believe that it's competing directly with gold as a store of value and a transactable commodity. So actually, no, it's more like the new gold rather than copper. I think Goldman Sachs is more like tin than copper. So enough said. The reason why they come out and say these things, you guys, is because they want your Bitcoin. They want your Bitcoin. And hopefully you're not giving it to them. Hopefully you're holding on to your Bitcoin or whatever asset that you're in right now, and you're not trading it over to these people who manipulate the news. It's the same thing I talk about over and over and over on my channel. But it needs to be said. It needs to be said on a daily basis, because every day we got new people coming into the market, and every day people are reading stuff like this, and every day they're reading all these FUD articles, and they're like, oh shoot, I bought Bitcoin and it went down, I got to sell it. No, you got to buy more of it, and then you hold on to it, and then when it goes up, you sell some, and you make some money off it. That's like what we should be doing as investment 101. A little bit of Polygon news, because you guys know I love this project. It is definitely up on the top of my top tier list of projects that I'm invested in, and actually dollar cost averaging into during these dips. This is the one project that I've really been dollar cost averaging into. I've got some buy orders set really low for Cardano. I hope they hit. If they don't, no big deal. I've got plenty of it. It is my number one holding. But Polygon Matic I have actually been buying because it seems to be the most resistant to this massive wave of downturn that we've been seeing. They recover very well. At one point, they recovered over 115% in one day. So not going to read the article, but Sweet integrates Polygon Matic into its broad-scale consumer first NFT platform. I don't really know what Sweet is. I've heard of it, but I've not ever really looked into it. I guess I'll read this article kind of sort of more on my own private time just to find out. But the reason I'm going over this is just to prove my point that Polygon is not tied directly to Ethereum in other words of its overall sustainability in the market. That's the word I'm looking for here. Forgive me, guys. I just woke up from a nap. I'm actually kind of tired. But a lot of people are saying, once Ethereum goes to 2.0, there's going to be no use for Polygon. Completely disagree. That is the worst advice anyone could ever give you. If anyone's saying stuff like that, you should probably take everything else that they say and throw it in the trash, because that would be actually where it belongs. Polygon is growing. It's growing rapidly, and I do expect this to be a top 10, if not even a top 8 or higher market cap project. Interesting. A couple bits of NFT news, because a lot of people are saying that NFTs are dying out and it was just a blip on the radar. It was a bubble and it's going to go away. It's never going to come back. That's completely false. Indian crypto exchange launches country's first NFT marketplace. So looks like India, who has just sort of re-lifted the ban on cryptocurrency once again. They go back and forth so often. I don't even believe anything anyone says anymore. But if India was really banning Bitcoin, I don't think Indian-based crypto exchanges, whether they're small or whether they're large, would be even looking into the NFT marketplace. They would be probably spending their time looking where they could relocate so they could actually carry on their business. So this kind of ties in with the China FUD, or I'm sorry, the India FUD. China FUD's always on my mind, but basically, you know, it's not going anywhere. It's the same thing in China. It's going back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the next piece of news. Major League Baseball announces licensing deal to produce NFTs. Yes, again, I stress NFTs aren't going anywhere, guys. They're going to integrate into sports, into music, into art, and into all kinds of other areas of life where transactions happen every single day. We're talking about the Major League Baseball, the MLB. That is a huge, massive sports organization in the United States. They have millions and millions and millions of baseball fans, and not just in the United States, but around the world. So these guys are going to be producing licensing to deal NFTs. Yeah, big deal. Everyone's got their favorite MLB team. Everyone's got their favorite MLB player. Sounds like Candy Digital, a new digital collectibles company, is getting in on non-fungible tokens with Major League Baseball through a new long-term partnership. Thinking long-term. Yes, bubbles happen and bubbles pop, and then they reform and then they pop again. But if you look at it, these bubbles just kind of seem to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just like the economies of the world. They build up these bubbles because they're printing all this money, and it pops, and then it reflates again, and then it pops. And the gold market does the same thing. And it's kind of, you know, you can't get too caught up in the fear of the bubble popping and never returning, because that's just not the way it works. So I'm going to have to look into what Candy Digital is, because I've never actually heard of them. But if they've landed themselves an MLB deal, they're probably either already a major player or going to be a major player. So this is interesting. Bleep the SEC. Actually, bleep Clayton. I stand with XRP, says, I believe the person who said that would be Michael Arrington. So a little bit to talk about here, you guys. So many people don't like Ripple, and it's because they were told they're not supposed to like Ripple. But at this point, everybody should be rooting for Ripple, because if XRP goes down and is labeled a security and the SEC wins their lawsuit against Ripple, which I don't think they're going to do, but if they do, it's going to spell trouble for a whole lot of other cryptocurrencies, and everybody knows it. And the news is going to be full of FUD and FUD and FUD, article after article, that would actually hurt the overall crypto space, you guys. And I know that none of us want to see that happen. So we should be rooting for Ripple. I am rooting for Ripple. And this guy's got a pretty good point. I'll read it again. Bleep the SEC. Actually, bleep Clayton, who was a corrupt, basically a government employee who was dishonest in a financial way. This dude came out, Clayton, and he basically dropped a bomb on XRP, Ripple, the company, whatever. He basically, in his last day in office. Now, how weird is that? I mean, in his last day, he basically goes, oh, yeah, you guys are in a bunch of trouble and we're going to be filing a lawsuit against you. And, oh, by the way, I'm out. This is my last day on the job. So just that alone kind of says that's kind of sort of weird, which means somebody high up doesn't really like what Ripple's doing, which means that we should be interested in what Ripple's doing, especially with the XRP project, because money remittance is a multi-trillion dollar industry. I mean, there's money being sent all over the world all the time. And basically, we're still stuck in a dinosaur legacy system. You know, your money takes days and days and days to get to where it's getting, and sometimes, you know, it gets lost in transition. And, you know, we've got some problems. XRP wants to come out and solve that, and they're actually probably going to be the only company out there that really, really could do that. People came out and they knocked XRP because it had a 50 billion plus supply, which at the time was the most in crypto, and a lot. Now we look at some of these Shiba Inus and these Doge coins, and we look at all these meme coins, and they literally have like trillions, or if not hundreds of billions of coin supply. So Ripple needs that supply to be able to do what they're trying to do. And I do believe that Once this lawsuit is settled and XRP is in the clear, that is going to be good for the overall crypto space. I've said this in my videos before. It's also going to be very good for the price of XRP. I've been talking about wanting to actually take a position into XRP. I did sell all of my XRP holdings when I heard about this lawsuit because I knew it was going to drive the price down, and I put them into safer assets like Ethereum and Cardano. But I would like to take a position back in XRP because I believe that XRP is probably going to do a 5 to 10x. As soon as they get clear, there's going to be hype, it's going to be momentum, they're going to be boom, and all of a sudden they're going to be free to do what they've been trying to do this whole time. It's going to be good for the project, it's going to be good for crypto. There should no longer be any XRP haters out there, because if you like crypto, you want to see these guys stand up to the SEC. This whole thing that happened to them was very awful for them, and the way Clayton dropped it on them the last day in office, it's just really stupid, and I really do hope to see this clear up, and I want to see things get better. What Ripple is doing is legitimate, says Arrington. It's a real company, hundreds of employees, believe in the mission, and sometimes it just boils down to scam coins designed to hurt retail investors. There's a lot of rug pulls. Think about that. Why isn't anybody talking about that? There's just no evidence of that. Funny people think Ripple is the devil. When there are actually scam coins in the top 20 list, they somehow get a pass. I don't really think that there's any actual scam coins in the top 20. Dogecoin being a meme coin isn't quite a scam. It's hard to label something a scam when it's got that many billions of dollars behind it, when you got all these no-namer coins coming up and rug pulling the crap out of people. Now those are scams. Again, I don't see anybody doing anything about that really, which is sad. But this guy's got a point. Why do people really hate Ripple that much? It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like I said, you've been programmed and you've been told that Ripple sucks and it's the banker's coin. And it's actually, if Ripple was the banker's coin, I don't think they'd be taking this kind of heat. I don't think that there would be the problem. I think they're actually trying to compete with the banks, and they're trying to destroy the legacy system of the banks, which is where they get a lot of their money, and they want to be able to do it quicker, faster, cheaper. So you have to kind of reverse engineer these kinds of things. Why do people hate Ripple? Actually, I think it's the bankers that hate Ripple, which is why they get their watchdogs, like the people who run the SEC and other parts of the government, and say, hey, can you hold these guys up? We got to file a lawsuit against Ripple and against XRP because we got to stop these guys. We got to at least slow them down somehow until we can figure out our own ways of doing things, because the competition is fierce. So really, XRP haters, you should be XRP lovers. You should be rooting. Doesn't mean you have to invest in the project. I'm just saying, for an overall standpoint, you really got to have the back of those who are fighting for what cryptocurrency was invented for the whole time. And Ripple is kind of at the top of that list with trying to do money remittance. He goes on to say, I think it's all securities in the sense of we're all buying these things because we are trying to get into assets that will protect us from what the dollar is doing. But no, we look at the Howey test, a 100-year-old test that's absolutely useless in a modern world. It's ridiculous. Bro, I agree with you 10,000 million %. This statement right here is so important. Listen to what he says. In essence, you can generally say that by the Howey test, all cryptos are securities, according to what they're saying here. But really what we're trying to do is we're trying to get into assets that will protect us from what the dollar is doing. I've talked about that so many times on my show, the dollar, the dollar, the dollar. What is the dollar doing? It's pooping out more dollars. That's why I have it stuck in the toilet paper, because it's just, we're printing more dollars, like by the trillions. It's not even by the billions anymore. We're literally like passing $6 trillion spending laws, like it's going out of style. We're throwing money around and stimulus and all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, we're trying to protect ourselves against the dollar. Smart people understand that this dollar is trash. Yeah, I get a little fired up because you know what? It's true. And for people to come out and try to block us from investing in assets that are going to protect us, that's criminal. Because really what it comes down to control and power. If we have financial freedom as individuals, the retail customers like us, if we start achieving retail freedom, it's harder and harder to suppress us, to keep us down, and to keep us dumbed down by the news that they cram down our throats, by the agencies that they own, because they program our minds to think and to depend on them. And what are they doing? They are devaluing the dollar that we use for everyday transactions. So you know what? Crypto is freedom, and that's why I love it, because crypto allows me to talk to you and to directly send payments to you without the banking system, without the government telling me that I can or cannot do it, even though they try sometimes. and they try to label the stuff that we're into as securities, big problem. If Ripple does not win this lawsuit, trust me, there is trouble ahead for this market. Not something that we can't recover from, but you think we're seeing a downturn right now? Just wait until everyone starts speculating on what's the next cryptocurrency, what's the next altcoin to be under attack by the SEC labeled as security. Ooh, fired up, man. I love it, you guys. We have to fight back. In other news, this is kind of cool. Like I said, I've always got the China FUD on my mind. Argentina, number of Bitcoin miners increases amid new government subsidies. Awesome. This is what we want to see. The mining of Bitcoin is very centralized in China, and we know it, and it is a problem because every time China hiccups or sneezes or coughs or farts or any of that stuff, everyone freaks out, okay? And then the mining, starts to increase or decrease, and it affects the price of Bitcoin, which makes it easily manipulated, okay? At some point, we want to see BTC mining really start to decentralize as far as even locations, countries, governments, all that stuff. That will be a happy day, and everybody's going to believe me. Right now, Bitcoin's being kicked around as energy inefficient and non-green for the world, and it's getting a bad rap and all that stuff. Eventually, it's going to go green. There are so many ways of mining Bitcoin without having to plug into the power grid, and the more decentralized by location that everything is for Bitcoin, the better it's going to be. Countries are going to find new ways of innovating, ways to do it with clean energy, and everything's going to be just fine. We have to get it out of the hands of the majority owners in China. It's a problem, but articles like this give me hope because Argentina is not the only country that's doing that. I was just covering an article the other day about, I think it was Montana or Texas, I forget which one it was, Alabama, I don't know, probably a bunch of them. But anyways, people are starting to set up mining farms around the world, and this is a very good thing. Last piece of news, guys, because I love to end things on a positive note. I know I got a little bit negative there for a minute. Not negative, just more passionate because I really understand how things work and where things are going, but I do want to end this on a positive note. Bitcoin ETF applications pile up as SEC, our good friends at the SEC, consider options. The SEC will consider the options. Yeah, the SEC is going to release it when they're darn good and ready to release crypto Bitcoin ETFs because it's going to benefit them and the people who back them and the politicians that have paid for them to have them in their pocket. So essentially, the SEC is going to do what it's going to do because they're the big bad boys that give the approval. But eventually the approval will come. And when it does come, it will open the floodgates of all kinds of new investment money to flood directly into Bitcoin, the asset itself. Now, when Bitcoin, the asset itself, does well, we start to see the effects in the rest of the market, starting with Ethereum and then on the way down. So this is going to be healthy for the market. We do eventually, why they haven't done it yet, I don't know. Canada's already done it. Other places have already done it. There's even Ethereum ETFs that have been approved in other countries. So why are we holding back? America is up to something. At some point, they're going to have to regulate it properly, and they're going to have to allow us to invest in these assets because we're talking about something that's global and not just centralized, and it's a beautiful thing once we see that floodgate open. As a matter of fact, I really believe that this market downturn is going to be slammed down to a point to where most of the people, the retail people, capitulate, and then all of the big greedy corporations are going to, like big whales that they are, they're going to scoop up all of us little fish. They're going to take all your Bitcoin, and then when they're darn good and ready, then they'll release an ETF, and then that's when you start to see Bitcoin hit that $250,000, $400,000, $500,000, $500,000, a price prediction that everyone's talking about, because it will happen, because supply and demand, the law of supply and demand will dictate that will happen. It's just not going to happen until they're ready. Let's hope they're ready at some point by the end of this year, because I would really love to see some of those people who invested late get some of their money back. So thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. I know it was a long-winded video, but I had to get that out there before I got on with the rest of my day. Let's take a look at the market cap really quick and end it off this way. What are we looking at? 1.693. Gosh, we're still just ranging, aren't we? We're just bouncing around in a range. We're bouncing around in a range, and everyone on this side saying, oh, we're about to go back on the bull run, and everyone on this side's like, no, the bear run's coming. The bottom, the sky's falling and the bottom's falling out and all that stuff. I don't see either one of those right now. we're kind of right in the middle, guys. We're just cruising. We're just cruising right now. I do expect still some more downside action. They're not done shaking out this market. Every time the market starts to bounce back, everybody gets excited again. And believe me, they're watching those things. They're watching how we react to the news, to the big YouTubers, to the thing that they all seem to be coordinated at the same time, right? Everybody swings the pendulum, then they swing the pendulum. And if you're listening to the right sources of news, you'll be able to make sense of that. So be careful, you guys. Happy investing. Keep an eye on the market, but don't let it consume you, please. Take this from me, someone who's been in this market for 5 years. This market used to consume me because I rode the highs and then I rode the lows, and it was very emotional. It was very captivating and all of these things, and it really messed with my mind. And so don't let what's going on control your life. Don't let it control your thoughts. Don't let it rob you of sleep. Go out there, be kind, be joyful, be nice to each other. Go love somebody, go help somebody, go do something good for somebody. And remember that you're human, okay? And feel good about yourself, because if you feel good about yourself, you're just going to be a better person. And if you're a better person, you're going to be more confident. And if you're more confident, you're going to know more about what you're doing and what you're investing. It's all symbiotic, you guys. Don't let this rob your peace. That's the best advice I could ever give you, because I'm not a financial advisor, but you know what? I certainly know and understand how to govern life in the right way with a positive attitude and a positive mindset. And that is worth more than all the money in the world and all the Bitcoin in China. I love you. Peace.